Hello and welcome to Henry Clarke's channel. That's right, Henry Clarke's channel. I kind of try to show you guys how to get that little bit more out of Band in a Box. But this time I'm taking a little bit of different spin because what has happened recently this year is that I have some songs that are in flight that have been actually had permission to send them to a major record label, right? And I got excellent feedback, excellent feedback. And the reason why is because what the VP said is that my songs resonate with people. My lyrics resonate with people, right? And I told him I just want to shop the songs, man, because I have no intention whatsoever going on tour. I'm like way past that. That is not in my wheelhouse, right? But he said that's cool. So he's shopping the songs, and hopefully they will gain more traction, more momentum. But when he said the songs resonate, so I'm going, okay, what does that mean? He says, well, they resonate with people. People can get the feeling from the lyrics, right? I said, well, what does that mean, right? And he said, well, you figure it out. So I'm trying to figure it out, right? And what I came up with, which was really interesting, is that write like a comedian, right? And what I mean when I say write like a comedian is that you ever notice how a lot of the top comedians, right? They tell stories. They tell stories about family members, about friends, right? And the reason why we laugh so hard is because we know someone that's like that, whether it's somebody in our family, whether it's our mother, whether it's a cousin, or whether it's some friends of ours. That's the secret to writing great lyrics, right? Is that write like a comedian because they know how to do it. A joke is a punchline, but without the build-up, the punchline is not as effective. And of course, there's also the presentation skills, right? In other words, how the comedian speaks, the language that he uses, right? And that's why a lot of times, again, like I know that some people like classically trained singers, right? Me personally, right? For pop music and for soul, it doesn't work very well. A lot of soul music, especially, right? They don't use proper English a lot of times in their phrases, right? And I noticed that people who have been highly trained, they want to pronounce every single syllable, every single word. I mean, I just couldn't imagine an opera singer singing Hamilton, right? I mean, it's just not going to have that same vibe. So that's one of the secrets is write like a comedian because comedians have a knack of drawing an audience to using subject matter that audiences can relate to on a personal level. And there are universal themes always. So if you can kind of learn that trick, and also I also learned that one of the best ways to do this is to write what I call from the hook down. In other words, try to establish your hook first. It's amazing how if you can establish your hook first, then you can take the song just about anywhere just by doing something like that. For example, right, one of the songs that I put a video out because I wanted to attribute to my friends back in the neighborhood from back in the 70s, right? But the song was called Those Were the Times, right? So and just to play a little quick piece of it for you. Those were the times I remember. Soul music blasting out the window. Those times I'll never forget. Good times, I have no regrets. So if you can write a song like that, right? Again, those were the times, right? Then people from that era, they can relate to the lyrics that are in that song. But you can take that, those were the time, when you have a hook like that, those were the times could be sad times. They could be happy times. They could be melancholy times. They could be family times. And that's why when you start from the hook, you can take the song anywhere. So when you have a hook, like when I had the hook for Those Were the Times, it put me in a mindset. And I'm going, okay, those were the times that what, right? What happened during those times, right? And I'll just get a notepad out and I'll just write down. Those were the times. Okay, what was the music? Well, the music was Motown back for me in the day, right? Those were the times. What were the times as far as cruising the streets, right? Well, we cruise the streets. Well, what were the times when with gas prices? What were our gas prices at the time? Well, again, I'm old, so when gas prices were like 35 cents a gallon, right? But again, when I play that song to that particular audience, said everyone during that period can relate to some component of that song. That's what made the song so effective. So again, if you do songs like that and you come up with a song, try to do it from the hook down. Because once the hook is established, you can take that song anywhere. Maybe those were the times you might have. Those were the times, and figure out that it was a time when maybe when you lost someone in your life, or those were the times when you were in love, or whatever, right? And it works. It actually works for a lot of songs. Because I write a lot of songs, lyrically speaking, and I have been told, even though I don't have a Grammy, but I've been told that I'm a very good lyricist, that I write actually really, really good lyrics. And I think that's one of the methods that works for me. And I really believe that it will work for you. I hear people's songs sometimes and they're just kind of rambling, right? I'm watching a documentary on Motown, and this guy, Mickey Stevenson, comes to meet Berry Gordy, and he plays the songs for Berry Gordy. And Berry Gordy tells him, he says, your songs are great, but your voice is shit, right? Right? And he goes, what? But I get it, And I think that's for me. I'm not my voice is crap, right? But I do think that my voice is not like, I don't have the command voice that I would like to have. But hey, we go with what we have, right? That's what I do. But again, if you can write songs as a comedian would, telling stories that people can relate to, that's when people laugh the hardest, right? And again, you can take any song. I'll just give you one more example of a song I did. I did a song called Do You Still Think About Me, right? Everybody in the world has something that they think about, right? So when I did the song, Do You Still Think About Me, right? You can take that song. We all have memories. So you can take that song, and the position that I used when I wrote the song was, do you still think about me? Because I'm thinking about maybe a relationship that I had in the past. And has this person, even though this person has moved on, I'm thinking, well, do they still think about me, right? I started the song out right with, I saw a photograph, right? But again, you can take, and I'm gonna get to the hook of this song and let you hear a little bit of that. Do you still think about me, right? It's a slow song, but see how it works? Do I ever cross your mind? And the producer absolutely loved that song, right? But again, that song can evoke an emotion. Do you still think about me, right? But it doesn't have to be that. Do you still think about me? You could even say, do you still think about me, right? Get a notepad off to the side and think about maybe a car you had, maybe family members that were once in your life. All of those things can come into play when you write from the hook down. So again, I'm just going to close this by saying, one of the best ways to write a song is to think like a comedian. That's right. Think like a comedian who sets up a joke, but who tells jokes based on relationships and based on subjects and topics that family members or that the audience can actually relate to. You can take, if a comedian tells jokes about going on a diet, right? And I've seen some really, really funny skits about going on a diet, right? There's so many people that can relate to that. Or if they can't themselves, then they know someone else who went on a diet and it didn't work out, right? So it can be one of the funniest subjects ever, of family reunions, barbecues, those types of things, right? Which are common themes that comedians talk about all the time because they know that the audience can relate to it. My tip again is to write songs like a comedian. In other words, write your lyrics, universal appeal, but at the same time, you want to touch subjects that people can easily relate to based on their own personal experiences, right? Ballads of Jesse James and all that kind of stuff, okay. But how many people were living in 1865, right? You get more mileage when you look at it from that perspective. So again, good lyric writing, right? And I will see you guys later. Thanks for watching this, right? Always, if you like what I say, if you like the things I talk about, subscribe, okay? And I will see you guys next time. Bye.